Hey everybody, I'm Maureen. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 7 easy outerwear patterns that you can make for this fall and winter. And the great thing is that I have made almost all of these, so I can really tell you if this is truly easy or not. So I have my list. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have a couple of things that actually check the box for me as far as what makes it an easy outerwear pattern. And so I'm going to tell you, if there's no closure, ding, 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 if there's no lining, no trim, or it is no collar or an easy collar. Let's get into these looks. So at the top of my list is Simplicity 8554. This is a unlined trench coat. I would even probably consider this more of a duster. And it's something that I've actually made twice, and I've made it for like springtime. But if you live in a place that has warmer temperatures for fall, like the deep south like I do, or even out west like in California or something like that, this is a really great outerwear piece to kind of get your feet wet and how those pieces come together. It's got like a sash, really no closure at all. The collar is super easy. It's got like that partial bib, so it kind of gives the air of a trench coat, and then you've got like some slits on the side for some breathing room. And then there are shorter versions of this as well. But nevertheless, this is considered an outerwear pattern, and like I said, it is fairly easy. Okay, next on my list, McCall's 8029. Now this is a poncho pattern. I haven't made this, but I actually made probably like the grandmother to this pattern, and I kind of don't wear it anymore because Joe kind of calls it like my Obi-Wan poncho or something like that. So like I don't like to wear it, but because once he said that, like I'm not able to unsee it. But honestly, this poncho is super easy, and again, no closures, it's not lined, and there's really no collar. It's really just more like a shawl, and then you have like a waist tie. So again, a super easy pattern. It should keep you warm and nice all season long. Okay, third on my list, New Look 6585. I have made this one as well. This is a very easy pattern. Again, going back to not lined, no closure. And I have seen this done a few different ways. I've seen it done in sweater knits. I've seen it done in a really nice wool. I mean, just super luxe, nice wool. And then the person actually added like a belt to it. The inspiration for this is really just boundless online because so many people have made it. And it's really just like a nice entryway pattern to get started in what constitutes as outerwear. And again, this is one of those things where if you live in a place where the weather can be up, down, sideways, hot or cold, this is a great pattern to really just kind of have in your closet. So this is an indie pattern. It's called the Nova coat, and it actually has had a few names since the time I made it. When I made it, it was called the Sapporo coat, and I think this was changed to avoid cultural appropriation. But this is by Papercut Patterns, and this pattern is really known for like the wide sleeves, the really like interesting pocket details, and also no closure, no collar, and there's a partial lining. So again, it taps into all of those elements that, once again, I consider to be easy outerwear. Now this pattern is on the pricier side, but I will say this, you can make it short or a little bit longer. I made the longer version, you can call it, and I didn't have to make any edits with this. I chose not to make any edits with this. And fun fact, this was my first outerwear pattern that I ever worked on. And I remember being so nervous and just so scared, but I'm glad I chose that one because, like I said, there was no closure to be worried about and there was no collar to be worried about. So honestly, I take that back. There is a little bit of a collar, but it's not like the traditional shirt collar that we are normally used to, right? Okay, so the next pattern on my list is Butterick 6244. Now, I have made this pattern maybe 3 or 4 times, but I love this pattern. It's got that gorgeous, gorgeous drape, and you know who it may remind me of. My favorite style icon, Meghan Markle. So she has worn this type of coat in and out of her royal duties and whatnot, or her former royal duties, but I have made this as a vest. Actually, I've made it as a lined vest before, and I have made it as a jacket or overcoat a couple of times. And this is another one of those patterns where you can use a ponte, a wool. The fabric choices I feel like are endless with this. so is the inspiration online. And like I said, I made 4 of these, and I think maybe the hardest part is probably just connecting the collar in the back, but there's so much information out there about this pattern. You'll have more than enough help. Okay, Mimi G's Windbreaker Simplicity 9687. I actually made this earlier in the spring, and I adore this pattern. And anytime I go out of town to a cooler city, I actually pack this one in my suitcase, like no exceptions. So I've worn this in Toronto. I believe I've worn this in New York. And when we go on vacation in a couple of weeks to Virginia, I will be bringing it then. And so this is kind of like a half zip with a raglan sleeve, and the cuff is an elastic cuff. Now there is a zipper there, but the zipper is pretty easy to install because it's an exposed zipper, which I feel like is a lot easier than possibly an invisible zipper. Then there's also a lined hood. There's a little bit of bias binding, but if you know Mimi, if you follow her and know her patterns, you know that there is a step-by-step tutorial, and there's countless images of inspiration and just information out there regarding this pattern. So if you want to challenge yourself a little bit with like a little bit of a zipper or something like that, then I highly recommend making this pattern. So my last one, which is for my cold temperature girlies, this is McCall's 8049. Now I have made the sister of this pattern, which has a collar, and it is made for fur or for, you know, fabric that has pile on it. Now this one is collarless and no closure, and I have this pattern in my stash, and I still need to make it. Like, I want to make this pattern. But this is an easy pattern, and I know a lot of people are typically intimidated by fur, but honestly, it's one of the easiest fabrics that you can work with if you know what to do and how to manage the fur. And once you have that down, you're gonna be making fur coats left and right. Okay, you guys, that concludes my countdown for my 7 easy outerwear patterns for fall and winter this year. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're not following me already, you can follow me at Maureen on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. See you next time. Bye.